Hello everybody. So I am working on my 1986 Pontiac Fiero with the lovely 2.8 liter engine in it, and I had a belt blow off on me. The alternator locked up in there and blew the belt straight off. Well, I went to remove the bolt for the alternator and I ended up snapping it off, and it doesn't want to come out. So now I'm having to remove the entire belt. Well, to do that, I need to get to that bolt right there. There's one behind all of this wiring. And then there's that one you can see I took out right there, and the final one down there. These first three ones up top are 15 millimeter, and I have yet to get to that last one down there. But you've got the much thicker one that goes in the top left, a little bit smaller one that goes in the top right, and then this much longer one that goes down about midway on that bracket. Because you are removing the alternator, please remember to disconnect the battery. I didn't just remember that because I made some pretty sparks off my vehicle from my wrench. Luckily, I am small enough to just squeeze under the car right here, but some people may have to put their vehicle on a lift to do this or jack it up. But make sure you get that connector unplugged from the alternator, get that wire unbolted before removing it. That last bolt was a larger 18 millimeter one. I was able to get the first three off with that deep 15 millimeter socket, and the last one with an 18 millimeter socket, all using the long handle flex head ratchet. So with the alternator kind of sitting in there like that, I did break off that bolt right there, and it broke off in a spot to where I can't really remove the alternator. So I had to remove these four bolts on there. The alternator just slumps down in there, and there isn't a whole lot of space to get it out. But what I did is I tried to rotate it down in there like this. And then once it was sideways, I rotated it around. And because it can still pivot like this, I was able to pivot the bottom of the bracket out, drop the alternator like this, and then pivot the alternator out of the way around the axle down there. It was really annoying and really tedious, but I was able to do it. When initially trying to remove it from over there, I did remove the spark plug boots from down here just to get everything out of the way. And you know, be careful when you're removing them, because sure enough, I broke one of them, and now I gotta get another replacement. But you can see down in there, there's just not a whole lot of space. I did have to kind of push this heat shield down a little bit, but there's enough room to drop it down in there and get it out to the bottom of the car. So I got the bracket off the alternator. You can see where the bolt broke, making it impossible to remove the alternator in the car. And I didn't have the patience to get that out. I tried, you know, tapping into it and seeing if I could use an extractor, but it was real in there good. So I just beat it off with a hammer, because I'm not intending to use this bracket or that alternator again. Now that the alternator is out of the vehicle, you can hear that, well, it just doesn't sound good, and it sounds like it's really grimy. I did check the water pump. The water pump is smooth, so I'm gonna guess that, yeah, the wear and tear came from the alternator, which kind of locked itself up and blew the belt off the motor. Also, you can see from removing the four bolts on the motor that is how grimy my hands are, even after wiping the excess off. Just four bolts. So, new day, we've got our new alternator with the pulley swapped over on it. You see this one spins real nice. Heat shield we did take off of the old alternator to put onto the new one. And as for the bracket, I cleaned it up a little bit. And this was the solution for the broken bolt. I could not get it out no matter what I did, so I ended up just drilling it. And we're going to be using this bolt with just a nut on the end instead of having something to thread into. So we got the alternator bracket put back in the car. I was able to jimmy it in there by twisting it and turning it through the opening up here. And I did clean the threads on the four bolts that went into it. So I was able to slide under the car and lift the alternator up into there, and with the help of a buddy, I had him slide the bolt through the bracket and through the alternator to hold it into place. You could possibly lift it up, get out from underneath the car, and then lift it from up top and slide that bolt into place, but it's much easier with two people because you're kind of shooting in the dark from down below. With the new belt on, you'll want to loosen the alternator and slide it away from the engine and tighten it with that bolt to tension the belt. To tension the alternator, I stuck a pry bar up behind it and used that to apply some pressure to it, and then tighten that bottom bolt and tighten that top bolt. And with that, you can see that there's a good amount of tension on that belt. Do make sure the belt is sitting flush on all of the pulleys when tensioning it. I had to go back and retension it because it was not. So we got the battery hooked back up along with the alternator, and luckily the previous owner had an extra spark plug wire that I replaced from the one that I broke. So let's see if she cranks. And I am no professional. I learned through YouTube videos and forums just like other people. I just like to, tinker on things and figure out how to fix them myself. Well, I hope this video was helpful and informational. I've got plenty of other things to do with this car and other projects that I might be making videos on in the future. So thank you for watching.